Here we are, the Fire Nation. And okay, yes, we have some people in on the call who are not going to be recorded as of now, but for those of you who are watching, it's not the normal setup. There's no me on the screen talking to you. It's the Fire Nation server. We are in the counting channel count to 12 because Fire and I are going to set a new record tonight. The record is 1129 on the Catbug 96 server. We're going to smash that tonight. We're going to smash it. Fire, you won the BSM pod guest bracket, overcoming all kinds of long odds. So congratulations, first of all, on how you doing.
I have to say, I didn't expect that, first of all. And it all happened due to Fire Nation. Not like it's all because of like the people. And let me explain why. Because some people are just like, oh, like Fire, like you're this or that or something. But the truth is, there's much like every single person on that bracket is much more deserving, right? Like just being frank, like think about how much Toph has contributed. Think about Aiden. Think about Mango, obviously. I mean Armada. I don't know why I said Mango.
Yeah, you said Mango because that's the truth. That's the truth.
No, actually, it's Armada. You had an old bracket. I keep thinking it was Mango, but we all know like Mango doesn't lose, so it can't be Mango, right? But yeah, what I'm saying is they've all contributed a ton to Melee, right? And sure, like I've dedicated many years doing my own thing for sure, but I don't think it matches them. The reason I proceeded, the reason that name was able to proceed in the bracket is literally because of the nation, because the nation just rallied together. Like, sure, I can just be like, oh, guys, can you vote for me or something? But they're the ones that did the quote retweets, spread the word. The thing is, there's a saying. The saying is, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink, or something like that, right? And the thing is, I can say whatever I want. I can be like, yo, guys, can you like retweet this thing or something? But they don't have to do anything. But they went out of their way to make it happen, right? And so yeah, it's all huge thanks to to Fire Nation. They've been surprising me since day one. You've been here, Cypher, since day one. You remember when it was just most of the server was just so and so has joined the server, like right, like, and slowly we start seeing conversations, and I was just like, the server's gonna die in 2 days because I've seen so many servers like just pop up and just die in like a day or two. I was like, there's no way like mine could. I put in some effort. I was like, okay, like let's see what I can do. Like looks like there's some regulars on the YouTube and stuff, right? And then we obviously had like some crossover from homie servers like Mango Nation, Valparia server, Litterbucks, and like every time I think like the Discord is gonna reach a certain level and just stay there, like everyone here just constantly surprises me. Like we just FireFuff12, right? Where we just listen to music together. That was literally just because Soul Medley and I were just testing the bot, and it turned into a fest because people just came and stayed for over 12 hours.
12 hours, dude.
Yeah, it's just constantly like, I don't know. You can't. The thing is, it has a will of its own. I think the people here have a will of their own that surpasses even me. Because you know how I literally tried to nuke the server, it didn't work.
I fought so hard to keep the server alive, even though I'm pretty sure everything that I was saying. Oh, Discord sounds are muted, right? I hope so. I hope so. Sorry, I was checking the Fire Squad chat. I hope the Discord server sounds are muted. I don't hear anything.
Oh, you mean
on my end.
You mean the pop-up?
Yeah, I think I'm good. I haven't heard anything so on like my audio, so I don't think any of it's being recorded because it's not playing in the first place.
Yeah, and the one last thing I want to say, like, there's many examples, but yeah, definitely, creating the server, making it public, I didn't expect it to take off, and I didn't expect events to take off, like Agni Kai little exhibition I do, which I did before Toph, by the way, but I didn't think that would take off. Like PhD's Nuts just pops in. It's like, oh, I want to be part of that. When you have PhD's Nuts, who's, if you look at his placings now in SoCal, when you have him just taking the initiative, being like, "Fire, I want to be part of this," and then Colt stepping up, all these challengers. I didn't think that would take off, and most importantly, I was down. Like, I wasn't doing too well mentally at points. I was either stressed or I was just sad, and I left. And I was just like, okay, well, I would like to be there and keep cultivating the server because it's something else, something I never expected. But I gotta take care of myself. I would come back and it's the same or it's grown. It's like, what's happening? These people have a will of their own that I literally can't comprehend.
There are even people who are listening in to the podcast live on the Fire Nation homies voice chat. Shout outs to Garden. Shout outs to Voldesac. Or am I saying that
Yeah.
wrong? Shout outs to Kuyachi, Sane, Jane. Thank you all so much for, well, first of all, counting. If people are watching on the YouTube, you'll see that people be counting now. But I'm going to go ahead and jump in here. We're going to do a little bit of counting, but I also want to ask you about the break that you took.
Mm-hmm.
So what was, and you can share as little or as much as you want to. You don't have to go into it if you don't want to. But what would you say was I know that you do so much like online. Was it just kind of like the final straw thing, or?
I'd say I had like two big breaks and one like mini break. The first one was because one of my favorite content creators.
Oh, sorry, and also do start to count as well if you can at the same time.
Oh, okay. Jesus.
Yes, I know. It's the ultimate challenge. And we took over in the 380s as well.
And Cypher, you know the strategy, right? If you see someone else typing, just
What?
bail.
No.
You just type the wrong number.
Might be. I told you the 380s or the 80s.
The 80s in general, right?
The 80s in general.
Yeah, man. I guess you're just not a fan of Huey Lewis and the News.
No, it means that 80s are tough for me. The 80s are so tough for me.
Yeah.
Maybe I should have let everybody finish out the 80s. Oh, that's a good idea. Maybe every time we get to the 80s, I just take a break. Now there's a strategy. All right,
yeah.
well, we got lots of people counting anyway, so I'm going to take a break from the counting. You can go back to your story.
Sure, yeah. Well, yeah, basically one of my favorite content creators had to stop being part of Melee for career reasons and such. And I was really sad about that. And also I didn't so I took a bit off, right? And then as I took that little bit of time off, I realized, dang, like I put in so much time without realizing into content in Discord. And I was like, yeah, like I feel better just not doing that right now. So I took time to myself. The second time was purely burnout, like in every way, not just like in terms of Discord, but also just playing Melee and everything. And my job was catching up to me. The mini break was because shout outs to being vaxxed, but I my body doesn't handle what do you call it? My body didn't handle the second dose or the booster well at all. Like it took me over 2 weeks to like even feel a bit normal. So I was just burned out. And then when I started to feel okay, work just completely took over my life. There was what we call a P1 situation. It's an emergency. So literally everyone in the company was just going ham in the IT department, at least, because I work in like technology. There was I work with data flow, right? So the data needs to flow to its destination correctly, and it was not reaching its destination because of certain bugs after there was an upgrade, and we all had to sit down. It was like 11-hour days, including weekends, for like 8 days in a row. So when that finally settled, I came back. But yeah, it's just a mix of circumstances, you know?
That is so crazy that you just had like one after the other things that took you all the way to your limit. And
Yeah.
like, I guess the first thing is that I'm glad it didn't all happen simultaneously. I
Oh,
can't even
definitely.
imagine working 12 hours when you're down tremendously after COVID vaccination. That would have really sucked.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, thankfully, my office does provide sick leaves, but I think I would have ran out. um, yeah.
There's a lot of pressure to do the counting thing right, by the way. For those who are following along at home, we are restarting again because it's tough out here on the counting
It's being
streets.
broadcasted. I've never considered accounting could be broadcasted. Which I mean, Cypher mentioned Catbug96. Shouts to her for sure. She took a break from Melee because of school, but she was a really cool streamer. And she would stream at night, which was sick because I would finish work and be able to hang out. And I 100% yoinked this concept, the counting channel and the bot from her server. So shouts to Catbug96 server.
And I love the fact that she still has the record. And respectfully,
Mhm.
I just want to claim that for the Fire Nation. And I got really invested in this counting thing about a month
Mhm.
ago, or maybe a little bit longer than that. For the longest time in this server, I was like, counting. Yeah, what's the point? But then I tried it one night and I was like, damn, I'm a counting guy now.
It's the simple things. You don't realize how crazy it is. Like, I was playing friendlies yesterday.
Just messed up the counting.
I was playing
uh,
friendlies yesterday with Mig, who is a Discord. I met him in Discord, and he literally came over and stayed for 5 days. So shouts to that. Like, I never knew I would hang out like that with Discord people. Shouts to all the wonderful communities out there. But I was playing some friendlies with him before he headed back, and I felt amazing just nailing the simplest things. Like he was playing Pikachu, I just like wave dash past him, and I was like, that feels so good. Like I was like, yeah, you're not getting me with that nair cross up, turn around grab or nair cross up air. The Pikachu mix ups. You're not getting me with that, dude. Like I'm not even gonna let you even set up for that. Get out of here. And yeah, like so when it comes to counting, I believe it's because I had that incentive where if you if the community counted to 500, I would start getting clips for the community combo video. I believe that's when you start participating, and it's cool to see you be a regular now.
oh, by the way, did I mention this is our 150th episode for Bottom of the Trash
No
Ranking
way!
podcast?
That's so sick!
I forgot
I'm
to lead with
hyped.
that. I forgot to lead with that.
Yay! Dude, that's an honor. I'm so happy to hear that because BSM's been such a big part of my life. Like I found you like a bit early on, not like the earliest. I'm not like OG, but when you had the first Pew Pew episode is when I first heard of you, right? And yeah, I've been listening to so many episodes. Like I'll go on walks. I usually walk almost every day, and almost always it's BSM or Radio Melee, but almost always BSM, right? Because there's so many episodes. You just keep putting out episodes.
Yeah,
So
I'm the mech of the podcasting world for Melee. I ain't stopping.
Mech, I like that comparison. Yeah, no, I would 100% agree. You have such a positive mentality. Shouts to Mech, and you're you're so consistent. Literally, Petra, a really awesome person. I met her through BSM because she was a guest around the time I was. And I mean, Cat Named V. I got to know Cat Named V. Um, so many wonderful guests from various walks of life, walks of Melee, even, right? You have TOs on, which I really respect. We've talked about how we got to shout out the TOs, right?
Shout
And
outs
you're
to TOs.
shout outs to TOs. And you had on like there was that one person who played Melee like in America and in Hong Kong, I believe.
Yes.
Um, and he took a trip to Nicaragua.
Yep.
Like, there's so much variety. Like you had on, people from the Japanese scene. You had on people from EU, of course. Um, Shoutouts to I believe it was Pipsqueak who wanted to go after you had on. I'm blanking on the name.
Nikki from Germany. Yeah.
Yes. No, I love Nikki. I'm so sad that I blanked on his name. But yeah, and I mean, you've had on people from every scene, every kind of like contributor. Like I didn't even know that some people contribute to Melee in certain ways, right? Like we always think of TOs, YouTube, TikTok, maybe. You had on what's his name? Zets. You had Zets on. Who
Yeah, I
self?
got Zest before he retired.
Yeah, I mean, I
uh,
get it. I mean, Cypher, you followed my YouTube journey, right? Like not Agni Kai's, but when I was like making YouTube videos,
oh my
uh,
gosh, you were making a video every day for such a
every
long
day.
time.
Yeah, from literally, I remember the dates too. It was May 20th to July. Was it 13, 12 or 13? 13, because 12 was the Tuesday. Yeah. Speaking of July 12th, shout out to Alston Melee, who I know is a big inspiration for you, but I have to shout them out for multiple reasons, for for being sick, for putting on sick events, for inspiring you. But they did something that I'll never forget. They literally saw my premiere for The Legend of Toussaint, which I worked so hard on, right? So this means so much to me. I worked so hard on The Legend of Toussaint, and then Alston Melee is like, "Oh, we have a premiere at that time, but we'll reschedule just for you." And the thing, Cypher, is they're a much bigger, like as a channel, they're so much bigger than me. I'm like a leaf compared to their tree or something. you know. And they took the time to see like, okay, like FirePuff12 YouTube channel, like Legend of Toussaint, who like, dude, that's the Melee community spirit. And the thing is, even though that's the spirit, not everyone does that, but Alston Melee does that. And like, you know, considering how kind each of them are, I guess I should have expected that, but that really felt like out of left field. I was like, no way, you guys are really pushing back your premiere for me. Like that was so sweet. And yeah, like I mean, Toussaint, one of my favorite players of all time. So it felt really nice to put that out there right after he qualified for Summit, and then Alston made sure I had the spotlight. So
I love that. I mean, that's exactly right. A perfect encapsulation of why Awesome Melee is cool at all times, except when they post on April 1st that they're bringing back the podcast soon. That was like,
uh,
that got me so excited because I've been
yeah,
fiending for Awesome Melee podcasts, but I have to continue to be patient like everybody else. But other than that, I
yeah.
mean, Patty,
Podcast takes so much work.
yes, yes, it does.
Like I haven't done it firsthand, but I've seen you, and I used to be very involved with my fellow Melee Stats people back in like 2017, 2018. I was on their podcast. I remember like Edwin and Save as Untitled worked really hard to get that going, and so I mean I'm pretty sure there were other. I think there were others involved too, but I remember specifically Edwin and Save as Entitled were part of like everything, and they like got the guests together. They made sure it was like produced well, and it's so much work. I don't even know like how to, like, the thing is with video creation, I can understand exactly how much time something might take because I have like because I've done it, right? But podcasting, it's a bit more of a gray area. Like I'm not sure exactly how much time it takes, but I can tell it's insane. So
All right, I'm taking the odds here. So here we go. Okay. Oh, okay. All right, here we go. All right, so
yeah,
fire.
trick
Oh,
cipher, when
fire. You
someone starts
hopping
typing,
in.
just fail.
Whoa. Okay, we have to be careful here because Garden
Yeah.
wants to go as well. So,
Yeah, no, if that's what I'm saying. The moment you see
okay.
typing, fail. Just like let go of everything.
Okay. All right. You keep the evens, fire.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. All right.
Hard
Wow.
to talk, man.
Okay, no, I need to conquer the 80s, okay? I need to do it. Need to do it.
All right, let's go, man. Hey, Mickey.
You're so fine. You're so fine.
I'm
uh,
Mickey.
I was
Philip
literally.
James, not my love. I
Are
know.
you doing like a song specifically from that year? Like, I can't think of a
Just
song.
80s. Just 80s.
I can't think of anything that came out in '89. Almost there though.
Yeah.
Okay, 91.
California. Oh, wait. Sorry.
That's beautiful. There we go.
No, I was
Now
huge
we're in
on
a
music,
rhythm.
and I got so much from Mango's playlist, and I was just like, oh, this is from the 80s. This is from the 90s.
Shout outs to Mango has a pretty
Mm.
exquisite taste when it comes to stream music. I mean, I mostly watch the YouTube recaps. Oh,
Mhm.
100. Okay, all
Yeah.
right. Here we go. Number.
And Jane is
Uh,
typing. I'm gonna hold.
oh, okay. Hold the fort.
Yeah, hold.
Okay,
Yeah.
but
Actually, speaking of music taste, you know who else is sick? Pew Pew, who you had on recently, and he actually mentioned like 5 different songs, I think, on your episode. I noted them all down, and at the end of my run, one of them played. It was "Overjoyed" by Stevie Wonder.
Yes. Okay, so I have to take credit for that one though. I'd brought up that one. Okay, so we're gonna
Oh, you
wait.
did.
Oh,
I'm
hold
sorry.
the fort. Saint Jane is typing again. Just got to be careful. I
Yeah, well, I think we can call their bluff. It looks like they're just,
just doing it for the content. I mean,
mhm.
really, we should be doing the ultra fake deep dives when we get up to like 999.
Oh, okay, well, Fault is Zach decided to troll us.
It's all good. This is
Mhm.
part of the see, I knew that we could never really like say to everyone, "Hey, back off. We're going to
Yeah.
like no one is absolutely allowed to
Mhm.
type in." I was like, "Well, Fire and I want to do it." If I thought that I could lead with that, but I love the fact
Yeah,
that people are in here anyway because that's the Fire Nation and I'm really really happy like that you won the vote. So I want to talk about this just for a few more details because
for
first of
sure.
all, Mango was in the bracket and you beat
You mean
Mango.
Armada?
I mean Mango.
Cypher, you this is the thing, Cypher. I know you keep forgetting, so I need to remind you, but you had Mango in the first one, but then you realized Mango's just gonna destroy everyone, right? So you switch it to Armada.
No, it was Mango,
Yeah.
dude. You know who
Okay,
made it?
people listening in the call, it was Armada, right? Can you
You know
confirm?
what though? I was surprised. So let's talk details about the bracket though, because on the other side, the Aiden again zombie, that meme that I thought would die pretty quickly after you beat Aiden on the return
Mhm,
guest region. I was like
mhm,
so proud of the Fire Nation for carrying you through that because I thought people would vote for
mhm.
the meme, to have Aiden versus Aiden again in the finals. But
Yeah,
you
yeah.
beat Aiden round one. However, Aiden again won and then kept winning. And then even
Mhm.
up to Moki in semifinals, it was
Yeah.
a tie vote. And so I
That
said,
was insane. Exactly tied.
I said to my Discord server, all right, first person to tell me who to vote for, that person's going through. And so shout outs to Connor, aka Contra. Connor said,
Mhm.
"Yeah, put Moki through. kill the meme."
Yeah, no, shout out to Contra. He's contributed a lot to Melee, so
So much, so much. But
yeah.
so I was surprised because of the
Mhm,
whole just voting for half of a meme, but I was also surprised that
mhm.
Moki came out of the player region. It wasn't
Yeah.
like I picked names out of a hat. I thought it would be cool to talk to Moki, and I thought it'd be cool to talk to the other players that I put into that region. But I guess I
Yeah.
was just sort of expecting IBDW to breeze through just because it's IBDW, probably like the quote unquote highest ranked player that was in that
Mhm, mhm.
region. I just thought that would be like the meritocracy of the Melee community at work. I don't know.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on that?
Well, I had one separate thought actually that I wanted to say real quick. I do think like you have a loyal fan base, and a good chunk of that is Fire Nation, and it's because you've you've been there since day one here, and you've had on like so many guests, and I'll never forget how you had on Cupid in his time of need. Like that kind of stuff goes a long way, you know. Cupid was um he had an unfortunate situation, and so he needed help with the raising funds on the stream, right? And you had him on, you gave him a platform like right when he needed it, and you've had on like a lot of people who are like trying to get their name out there. So I think that loyalty has definitely played a role. I think there was a Fire Nation bias in the voting for sure. you know,
Yes. Oh, for sure. I mean, to kill the Aiden meme round one, like I said, and then to carry you on past Tove, to carry you on past Amsa.
yeah,
And then the most
yeah.
surprising of all, and I guess we're not going to talk about you versus Mango for whatever
You mean
reason.
Armada?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I was surprised with how far Scar made it. I thought that
Yeah.
because round one, I believe Scar was matched up against Slime, and then he beat Ludwig and
Mhm,
Leffen, I think, or something like that.
mhm.
I was so surprised, but that would
Yeah. So
be
mhm.
no, I'm just saying like that would have been crazy if Scar managed to beat Mango, but that's not what ended up happening. But that's like that was another surprise to me for the bracket. That was the last thing that I had.
Yeah. I was gonna say. So you're talking about Scar and Moki, right? On two different sides of the bracket.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, I think ultimately, like it's just it's not as simple as IBW is ranked the highest. It also comes down to like how their streams are doing at that time. How like which crowds has the tweet spread to, right? There's like little factors like that. I mean, I already mentioned like the guests you've had on. Trying to think what else. When it comes to Scar, right? You've reached out to a lot of your variety doesn't just go across like the kind of contributions people have provided Melee, but also various ages, right? Like you've had on OGs that aren't super active right now. So I think some of those guys came around, and as I do think Scar and Toph have a unique reach. They've been at Evos, they've been at Genesis, they've been on the big stages. So as your tweet starts to blow up, right? Then people who don't know some of the other people are starting to come in. Like maybe they're watching when Melee viewership was going insane in like 2017 or something. Which I mean, I'm not saying it can't go insane again. There's all the proof in the world that we can just blow up again. But um, yeah, I just think rank it comes down to more than just like how good a player is. Also, speaking of coming down to more than IBDW is, I wanted to say something about IBDW, which I might have mentioned previously, but I literally almost quit the game in 2018. And when I say almost, I don't know. I could have straight up quit the game because it was really getting like, how do you explain it? So Leffen would talk about it wasn't just Leffen. It was Leffen, Armada, Mewtwo King, Plup. There's a lot of people. But Leffen, made his tier list and he was like scientifically explaining why Puff is easy, right? And the
All
thing
right,
is,
don't forget you got evens. Excuse me, you have evens.
oh, we're doing that. Oh God, how do I talk about? You got this. Okay.
Sorry, no, get you. Toph was saying
Oof.
no. Was Leffen saying?
Oh, Leffen. Yeah. So yeah, basically Leffen and I don't think some people hear this and they think, oh, Leffen's being toxic, whatever. I actually really like Leffen. I've been like following him since 2014. I think he says some really cool things. But he just, I don't know, maybe he just had like biases because Hungry Bucks just kept winning less stock or something. But I didn't recognize that, right? All I saw was, okay, Leffen, I respect him a lot, and he's saying something which is possibly factual, right? When he was talking about Puff is easy. And to me, it's just when like he said this on the tier list video, and Armada saying it too. And the thing is, no matter how much it's strange, like in 2022, people are hating Armada, which I find interesting. Like, sure, like from a Mango Nation perspective, there are things I will say that you can disagree with him on, to put it lightly, and as a Puff main. But overall, he comes off as respectable. And in 2018, you're not thinking, oh, this guy's like absurd. You're thinking, okay, he makes a lot of sense, and almost everyone in the community seemed to agree with him. Um, and you were cast as like, oh, like one of those Mango like frat boys or something if you said something against him when it comes to Puff, right? Around the 80s, your difficulty. But
Oh
yeah,
yes.
Armand, Mewtwo King, Leffen, all of them saying, she's a shortcut, and it got to me. And I know that's top level, and I'm not at the top level, but it just felt like, why am I playing this game if I'm doing a shortcut? Why? What am I wasting all my time? And sure, like, you know, there's other players that have spoken otherwise of Puff, talking about her difficulties, Mango, for example. But I just didn't hear his thoughts that much for whatever reason. I'm not sure if it's because I wasn't watching his stream or he wasn't as vocal about it. Things changed, 2019, 2020. It's Mango, Zane, Cody, right? They're all being extremely vocal about their take that Puff is difficult, and it just the culture completely changed, right? But yeah, back in 2018, that's not what was being said, and I wanted to quit. And the thing is, I said shouts to Toussaint early on when like 2018ish. He was streaming a lot, and I was a regular there. So that's actually how I got to know IBDW, just because he was Toussaint's friend. And one day I DM'd him, not expecting a response, because I don't know him like that well. I'm just like, okay, it's Toussaint's friend, and he probably knows a lot about Puff because he's getting good really fast, and he understands what to do. And he said exactly what I need to hear. he um he explained what seemed like what was propaganda, or I don't want to say propaganda. It sounds messed up, but what like Leffen might have just been like very biased on, or Armada, Mute to King, and how he views it and how it's all opinion. The thing is, I didn't recognize it was opinion. Once I recognized it was an opinion, I was able to differentiate it, and I was like, okay, these are these are just your thoughts. But I thought it was science. I thought it was legit. Uh, so yeah, like Cody literally might be the reason I'm around, because if I don't play, I don't know if I come back. Because in 2019, I had like a whole burnout thing where like in UCR, I went to UCR for college, and I was the one person who never took a break, right? And it caught up to me. It caught up to me, and I left for like 9 months as like I graduated and got a job and everything. And I don't know if I'm coming back if that I didn't have that chat with IBDW. So like I know there's some haters out there who've been they've always been picking on him, but now they're going extra hard because he hasn't taken losses well. And I just I hope people realize like he's a person like all of us, and he's done a lot of good, and I think he's fantastic. I'm sure, yeah, sure he makes some mistakes, but he's learning just like all of us. So shouts to IBDW.
I love that. I love the fact that IBDW took the time out of his day, even if he wasn't the. I mean, like obviously, it's probably different now. Probably gets more DMs than ever before, especially when people want to go out of their ways to talk trash, which is really unfortunate. But I love the
Yeah.
fact that at that time it was like it was easy. There's just I see someone who is experiencing the same sort of things that I feel sometimes, because I think IBDW's been honest about how emotions can play into burning out and
Mhm.
expectations and those sort of things. So I love the fact that like he was someone that you were able to talk to at that time. Okay,
Yeah.
somebody please take
Right
over
place, right
counting
time.
for me. Whew. I did 51 to. All right, let's go, Garden.
Let's go. This is sick. It's like we're all just like partners in crime. If counting was a crime for some reason, I don't know. Oh, Jane. Yeah, I guess I can go in. I'm nervous.
Yeah, let's go. Oh, wait, whoa, Valdezak's back in. Uh-oh, we
Yeah.
just gotta be careful. Shout outs to Valdezak.
Shout out to Faltazak. I met him in college, my first year. I just went to his place and played for literally like it was like I think we went at 7 p.m. played till like 4 a.m.
Apparently, the being here live in this moment during this recording is very suspenseful for Valdezak. I think this is just about the most entertaining six-person recording thing possibly ever. To be very specific, it can't be a less than 10-person thing. It can't be a 5+ persons thing. It's specifically 6 people, one job. Just get past the record of 1129. Although I did tell you in our DMs, Fire, I said 1500. That's the number I want to hit tonight.
Yeah, you're nuts. I
Super
actually
crazy.
I actually just corrected the flub. I was about to type 176 instead of 174.
Oh, yeah,
Dane,
well,
are you going in?
we got a good thing going right now. We got
Hmm.
rotation on lock, and I really like all the teamwork that has gone into this current count so far. But at this rate, we're gonna take 3 hours to get to. Okay,
Yeah,
Saint
well,
Jane, I appreciate the optimism to get
yeah.
to.
And now we're
to
on
whew.
Cypher's favorite decade, the 80s.
Oh my gosh, let me think.
Celebrate good times, come on.
You always have something, dude.
Oh man,
My brain's too
yeah.
fried to like think of original thoughts as it relates to.
God, it's so to shut up.
I apologize to the audio listeners. You're just gonna have times where
Yeah,
we are reacting to the numbers channel, and
yeah.
you'll regret not watching it. I guess people just counting numbers mundanely, except for us. There's
Mhm.
very few more. There are not a lot of important things that are more important than this right now. We got to get to that
Yeah.
number.
And Cypher, I wanted to say, it's really cool that you decided to make this episode this way, where you're highlighting Fire Nation Discord, because you know the people here take a lot of time and pride. They have pride in some of the things they do, like counting and stuff. So it's really cool that you decided to highlight this server because I think we're how do you explain it? I feel like we're like a little island that when you're in the island, you're like, whoa, there's like all these people, but not many people like know about it. So it's pretty cool that you decided to shine a light.
But thank goodness for Radio Melee. I mean, every single episode, it feels like someone from the nation goes on, gives a shout out to the Fire Nation, baby.
Yeah, no, it's sick, dude. People from all kinds of like players, TOs. Like honestly, this is wild. Like Garden, let's shout out the people here. Why not? Garden, he TOs, he plays a sick puff. I retweeted one of his clips recently. It was insane. Um Faltazak plays all the characters. He'll deny it, but he can play literally every character. Kuyachi TOs, and they made Randall, which is Wordle for Smash. Candy Cane Jane was a contributor to the Free Palestine tournament, and she's making a project. If you're a Radio Melee listener, you know that
Mm-hmm.
a huge project with detailed information on literally every single matchup in the game. So honestly, it's an honor for me to have these people here. I'm just like, you guys want to spend time here? Like, I can't believe it. Like, that's sick, you know?
It's super cool. I'm so happy that this is like one of the melting pots that I get to be a part of. And you were saying OG a little while back. I feel like I was here when things were fairly established. I don't know. I came into the Fire Nation, I believe, after we recorded our first episode together, because this is like our fourth
Yeah,
episode now. We've recorded several
third,
times.
third.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, but
I'll take
no,
it.
but after your first episode, I didn't. This was just a 12-person Among Us server. I didn't release it until July, June 25. I think June 25.
Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah, and the reason I remember that is because that's the day I also broadcasted my losers run, which shouts to Cupid. He had the CNC series. I lost round one to Case Henson. Shouts to Case Henson. He's one of those people that participated in only noobs kinds of tournaments and just shot up. Right, he's gotten so good, and he beat me round one. And then I made it to grands from losers, and I was like, I was really proud of that. I still am very proud of that. And so I was broadcasting that as I decided to make this public because I noticed the same people were commenting in the comments. It was like Zio, um, Ixzy, um, Lane Clover, Isn't, and I was like, oh, sick, and you, Cypher.
Yeah,
So
I tried to get in there. I mean, you know
yeah,
this much better than I do, but you get to a certain point and you realize I do not have enough bandwidth to be everywhere anymore.
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah, and
yeah, I
mhm,
just like I want to try to comment on all the things, and like there was someone the other day on Reddit. I
mhm.
don't know if you saw this, but they made some kind of mod in Melee where it mimics the ultimate kill screen. You know what I'm talking about? Where in
Oh,
ultimate,
like when it like kind of freezes and then they just like fly
yeah,
off.
and it like it's so weird and interesting how it's almost it looks almost exactly the same, except they didn't find a way to put in like the red streaks. Okay, I gotta
Mm,
somewhat concentrate here, but isn't it so cool? Like
yeah,
somebody took the time to do that for Melee, and you just see stuff like that.
yeah.
You just see stuff like that, and I was able to comment on that one in particular, but like I want to comment on more stuff that I see come across the timeline
No,
or what have you,
it's
because I follow enough people on Twitter. I'm on Reddit often enough that I just see this
you
stuff.
can't keep up with you
I
can't keep up with
can't
everything.
keep up with
Like,
it.
shout outs to May, another creator who's been posting on Reddit. Speaking of Reddit posts that are very unique, she released, I believe, was it like over 100 pages of Marth versus Peach?
Yes, and then did
Yeah,
you see the tech chess?
tech chess. What's that?
Just go to maybe tweeting or
Mhm.
wait, is that
Yeah, maybe tweeting is
yeah,
her
yeah.
Twitter.
Yes. Yes, go to the Twitter and look and just scroll down. You'll see tech chessing.
Oh wow, how interesting. Yeah. Also,
Basically every time getting a down throw is chic, auto pausing the game on Slippy and trying to do a chess move against a chess opponent.
wow. Oh my. No, I saw another one of May's tweets recently, but I didn't expect. Wow, that's incredible. No, she's been. along with like people talk about how fiction leads the conversation. She's been leading the conversation on Melee Twitter. She's a huge part of Melee Twitter.
Yeah,
Um,
it's super cool.
yeah, but I wanted to shout out Jesu who just topped into the call. Jesu and Faltazak both are from. I met them in college, and I would say last year I improved the most in Melee out of all my years. Like last year was like year 6, right? With ups and downs, taking breaks and stuff, and like they give really good advice. Jesu in particular is like has shown his talent in other games. He was competing head on with the people that are sponsored by like Team Liquid and Cloud9 and such. He was competing with those guys early on, but then he just decided he didn't like League and he found Melee, I believe is the story.
Wow,
But,
that's super cool. I
yeah,
mean,
and if you're SoCal, you know that he was a monster. He was easily going to be ranked and like go even further, but he just wanted to like take a break from going that hard with competing. But he was making out of round 2 pools and such.
oh
So
yeah, and then Cali, that's a big deal.
that's a big deal. Yeah. No, and yeah, no, it's been really cool to get his perspective. Like Cypher, do you know about so Toph makes really good content. Do you know about Toph's video on the RPS of Melee?
The what?
So he made a video on like the rock paper scissors of the Melee neutral game.
Oh yeah, that was a while ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was quite a while ago. It might have been 2020 even. But so I would say I've had two big like eye openers when it comes to the neutral game. One was SFAT. I was playing with SFAT and he just told me something simple. He was literally just like, just let them come in and you do something, right? Which is it's simplified, but I needed that because all I was doing at the time. This is the thing: when you watch Melee and you're not good, you don't see things. I saw Mango's puff and I was like, oh, he's just neutral airing. It's like that's not what he was doing.
Yeah.
But that's all I saw. His neutral air was after he put the shampoo and the conditioner on them, But like I that's all I saw. So when SFAT told me that, I was like, okay, like yeah, let me like ingrain this and think about it. And then I had like my best win probably. I beat Vivi. If you were around in SoCal in 2017, 18, you'd remember him. Very solid Marth. But then Toph's neutral game guide really opened my eyes, right? I was like, oh, like everything is either preemptive, proactive, or reactive. I was like, everything falls into that. So I was doing that, right? But what Jesu like showed me is I was doing that, except I was in horrible situations. Like I'd be like, oh yeah, so to beat this, like I probably have to do something reactive, and I'm just like in the corner getting like forward smashed. Like, so yeah, I mean, positioning is huge, and just having like fundamental understandings of matchups. Like you don't want to place yourself where like your opponent has a lot of threats. It doesn't matter how much RPS you're following from Toph's video. So things like that. And recently, shouts to God's Complex. He's been very helpful. He gave me a unique perspective that I didn't even realize like could be helpful. But he plays Falcon. First of all, everyone take care of your hands. He's in a very unfortunate situation where he can't play. And he'll admit it, like he could have taken better care of his hands. Everyone, like, a lot of people take it lightly when people are like, oh, you should stretch your hands. No, like always stretch your hands. You never know. Like our negligence might cause us to like quit this beautiful game, right? So don't let that happen. But yeah, like he's been just hanging out, giving people advice, and I showed him a puff ditto. He was just like, "Oh, like Fire, like show me like one of your games once." I showed him a puff ditto. He's like, "Fire, I probably can't help you." He's like, puff ditto, like this. I'm gonna be the least helpful. He pointed out 4 things I never thought of. I was like, "What the heck?" This guy's he's only been playing for like 9 months, and he was doing so well. Like if you've seen the Litter Box tournament results, shouts to Cat SSBM. He's a VTuber for Melee, and he runs tournaments. Currently, it's every Friday, and yeah, God's Complex was placing really well in those, and he had some really good wins. So
Ooh, yes. And also, Garden brings up a good point. What about you, FirePuff12? The Nair rest? That is the FirePuff12.
I mean, did I talk about this the story before, or would this be the first time?
Fire, why don't you hop in and do evens?
Evens. Um, Actually, Cypher, if it's okay, I need to take a restroom break.
Okay, restroom break. All good, all good.
Niagara Falls real quick.
I'll just share some personal, personals. Okay. Basically,
Sure.
the idea
I'm just
is,
gonna mute. Yeah,
yeah,
be back.
yeah. You come back after you do it, right. So, all right. Now we're riding solo a little bit, but shout outs to all the people in the chat and the call. Basically, the idea is that I've been using my work laptop from work to do the podcast between the time that I moved here to my house in 2021 to now. Before that, I was using my phone to do the podcast. I would just go out to my car and from my old apartment, I would go from my apartment out to my car and I would just podcast on the phone. And then I would go back inside into the apartment, go to bed, that kind of deal. And then I upgraded to my work laptop once we had Wi Fi at the new house that we moved into. And now, this week, I ordered all the parts for a built computer. And the reason why this is a big deal, I'm going to have somebody help me put it together. But the reason why it's a big deal is because part of that was possible because of the Patreon, the people that support me there. So really big shout outs to all of them to help me out with being able to afford something like that. I mean, I support my family first, and then I don't really have a super ton of money to throw around at doing all the podcasting stuff or traveling or this, that, and the third. So because of all of you patrons, I have been able to say, okay, I can get PC parts and build a computer. Not something I thought I would previously have ever been able to do, or at least I would have had to save for a really, really long time. That's just part of the thing about having kids and everything else like that. Money just needs to be in certain spots at very unexpected times. So thank you all for making that possible to the patrons and everybody who listens. I mean, that's how it starts. Anyone who feels like they can throw away disposable income and kind of like help, I guess, is that's how it starts. They listen and they say, okay, I'll do that. And if you don't, all good. But Fire, I see that you got back here. You in the chat again?
No, big shout outs to the BSM podcast Patreons. I don't know what I'm
The
saying.
patrons. I call them the patrons. I don't have a name for
Yeah,
them. I don't think they want
yeah,
one. They'll let me know if
yeah.
they do, but thus far they have not expressed the desire to see a name for themselves or any of the
Huge
listener
shout outs.
base.
You guys make Cypher's podcast possible, and you can see how much passion he puts into this. He works so hard. He gets on fabulous guests, and it's always interesting. I literally remember he like I believe it was Punk's episode. I just couldn't stop listening. I went into bed and I was like, screw it, I'll sleep less for work. Like I couldn't stop listening.
This was
So,
during the time you were taking your break, dude.
was it?
I
I
feel like
don't.
it was.
No,
Or
I
wait.
think I was.
No,
I
no,
think I was
no. No,
online
you were
because
out.
you DM me
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
Files was on. This was during the pineapple pizza era, but Files was on,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
you guys said I would lose in the crew battle. I ended up going ham, but
hey, I love that. Well, you were also projecting a lot of you were doing like the top player. Oh, I haven't played in a while, but then you just wipe everybody on the floor anyway.
no, no, I'm exaggerating. I didn't wipe anyone. I barely won the match, like my match, and I went in as anchor when I shouldn't have. And it was, I mean, you were there. It was so complicated.
I was not there. I had to go to bed. It went a little
No, but I
late.
mean, you were there for a good chunk of it. Like you saw how, like I apologize to everyone who was at the pizza crew battle. I could have done a much better job. I'll learn from this and I'll put on a better event next time. But I just wanted people to participate. I had like, what was it, like a 12v12? It was
Yeah,
not fair.
we had like nearly 35 people in the chat at one point, it felt like. I
Oh
mean,
my God.
it's
I've never
so
seen a voice
awesome.
call that big.
It was
It was,
so awesome. I mean, that's the support for the Fire Nation.
I didn't expect that at all. Like I went into it thinking maybe like it'd be like 10 people. I didn't expect 35 people to show up, dude.
People get really passionate about their pizza as well.
Yeah. No, because the thing is that the arguments were dying down. Because the whole pizza debate, shout out to Petra, because she said something about eating pineapple pizza. And I was like, no, that's not allowed. Pineapple pizza is pathetic. I said that. And then, the war started. Oh, I started with an announcement. I was like, should we kick Petra out of the server? Because that's illegal, right? You shouldn't be allowed to. like pineapple pizza. And then I'm joking, by the way, for podcast listeners with no context. I don't mean any of this. I like pineapple pizza, and it's funny to meme to be like to give clarity to the listeners. But
What?
I just
No, basically, I tried to be neutral about it, and then I got all my emotions caught up in it. I got like really emotionally caught up in the whole thing. I had to like take a step back because I was like, oh no, my feelings are, oh no,
I got
oh no. And let's give a
oh
shout out to the coconut, to the coconut water that Saint Jane is drinking, but oh, we just ruined the count. We had reached 508. We were
yeah.
1/3 of the way there.
Yeah, I will say Garden's been part of a lot of climbs in this channel and a part of a lot of like the reason it stops.
Oh, no, no, it's okay, Garden. It's okay.
But it's okay, Garden. It happens. Like I say, oh, I was talking about like so it started with Petra, right? And then you got you try to be neutral, and I was like, you can't be neutral. I'm throwing you into the pineapple pushovers, right? And then the thing is, the argument started dying down. Like we decided, okay, Saturday we're just gonna have a crew battle. All of this was not scripted, by the way. Like literally just like on the fly, people were just like, no, like let's settle this. And I was like, okay, crew battle, you know? Like I didn't think like, okay, I'm gonna put this topic and then we're gonna have a crew battle, you know? Because some people came to me after and they're just like, are there more doors or wheels in the world? And they're like, let's do a crew battle. And I was like, that's kind of scripted, it's kind of funny, but with the pizza, it just happened. And then Pyro, shout outs to Pyro. Pyro SSBM on Twitter. He has I believe it's GoFundMe. He needs to have a surgery. So you know if you're feeling generous, you have a little extra change. Please consider donating. But Pyro made a video of you know the Hitler reacts meme. Like I remember seeing that from like 2012 because it was like Mega wasn't trying at Genesis 2. You guys just think Armado's like better, but Mega wasn't trying or whatever. But he made the one of me reacting to pineapple pizza, and so it was taking off, but arguments died down. I was like, okay, you know, maybe 10 people are gonna show up, 35 people show up. And I'm losing my mind. I'm like, how do I manage this, dude? I don't even know. I've never even seen that call.
It's been a
So I
crazy
mean,
past couple of months, and I would say that it's awesome also how there are people who keep everything going while you're taking your breaks as well. I mean, I think you
for
got
real.
so many cool regular chatters. I mean, starting with Petra, who I'll always give a shout out
Yeah.
to Petra because she and Legs have been
Mhm.
nothing but nice to me. I've had both of them on the
Oh yeah.
podcast. I mean, just the homies. But then
Yeah,
you
and
got all kinds of other people too.
both of them were huge in like the early days. Legs hangs out sometimes now, but she was a big part of Fire Nation early on. Made a lot of friends, you know, made a lot of people feel comfortable. Petra, you know, consistently being there for us. And she came up actually. Shout outs to her idea for Summit 12. She came up with the predictions thing, right? And it was such a cool event. You know, the winner Jackson SSBM got to add an emote, Fire Dank. It's just a Yoshi that looks dank. But yeah, no, so many people. Shout outs to them.
Okay, so we're getting questions from Garden about when is the next Fire Fest.
Oh my God, Garden! Literally, I held two different Fire Fest. One was literally called the Return of Garden, and he didn't show up. I don't know what to.
That's
I'll be honest.
unfortunate.
Fire Fest probably drains me the most out of every event. Like out of all the events I've done, Fire
Because
Fest.
it's like a 12-hour commitment.
Yeah, because it just the thing is, I see people in the call, and I don't want it to be like a B or C experience. I want to be there and engage. And the thing is, I should like you know give myself a break and stuff, but I can't help it. I'm just like, okay, people are hanging out, listening to music. Like I want to engage people that join. Right? I don't want, especially if it's their first time, I don't want them to just come in and just be like, oh well, you know, no one cares. Like, um, but I mean, it's a mixed bag. Like people sometimes they're very interactive and they're hanging out and it's a great time, right? But other times, because the thing is, you put on music and then you start doing other things. It's not anyone's fault. I'm just saying like you put on music and then you do your homework or something. You're not looking at Discord because the music it's like a radio. I call it Fire Nation Radio. People are just queuing in music. Um, so yeah, when people are hanging out and saying what's up to new people, it's all good. But like I just keep my eye, I get all stressed. Like you know, I'm not trying to sound too negative. I do have a great time. I love music. I've gotten so much music from people here. Like Garden, literally, so many bangers. Callahan, Tugboat, Zubs. What's who else? And Nah, Shiro Nah, new VTuber who got 100 followers recently. Shoutouts and the homie, but yeah, so much music from all these people. I'm missing a lot of names, but I appreciate it. I love the music I have on my phone now, thanks to the fest.
So I wanted to ask you about something. Faltazak with all the music recommendations. I wanted to ask
Oh
you.
yeah, yes, yeah. See, I told you I'm gonna forget people.
I wanted to ask you about like the fact that okay, so I'm gonna need you to do evens fire. Okay, there we go. All right, so I wanted to ask you about like recent IRL tournaments. I saw that you've gone to a few. You want to talk about like what's been good, bad, ugly, amazing about going back to IRL events? Because I feel like you would probably be in the camp where most people are, where it's like, ah, this is really, really cool. I mean, doing it safely is super cool and toy as well. But this is like what I've been missing.
um, yeah, definitely. The thing is, Cypher, I'm in a unique situation when it comes to COVID because I had to drive like like the round trip was 2.5 hours. Like if you combine
Dang.
my drive to work and back, so being able to work from home was such a blessing. Like I understand COVID affected a lot of people negatively. I'm not trying to um like I understand other people had negative experiences, but it was a huge positive for me, like getting to work from home. Um, there were some negatives too. I miss seeing my friends and stuff, right? But it's helped so much because it's not just the time, it's the energy. I had no energy. And
No, I
my
mean, I totally understand. I have a long, I mean, not as long as you, but like I'll drive 35 minutes there, 35 minutes back. So that's an hour and 10 minutes out of my day that I could just be like not driving.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly. Like that's a lot of time and energy. And like the thing is, like 1 hour commuting, it's like 2 hours. And it increases exponentially because of the energy, like I said. I keep saying energy. I feel like I'm talking about an Einstein equation or something. I'm not, but
You're fine. You're
but
fine. It's only 9:36 for
yeah,
you. I should be the one who's like blubbering. Oh, I almost did the wrong number. The 80s, dude.
80s. Garden, you're trying to go in, Garden? Go ahead.
Wait, what? What's happening?
Oh,
Okay.
Garden is doing the okay. He's trying to remind us because we're talking about all the things that happened in Fire Nation, right? You know how okay started?
No, I need to know how this started. I just know that I'm an okay person.
I don't have
No.
time. So basically, Soul of the Medley. I'm sorry, Soul of the Medley, but they were talking about the Pokemon manga, and no shade to people who like the Pokemon manga. Like, you know what? Let's just add the roll. Let me.
Wait, you're gonna. Oh, okay. Careful with the numbers, Garden. Careful with the numbers. uh, I can't believe we're doing okay in the counting channel. It's all good though.
Yeah,
All good. I'm
yeah.
gonna
But, what was I saying?
delicately gonna okay. Delicately put in 85. All right.
Okay.
They had to do okay while we're while we're in the 80s, dude. uh
I got the roll. I pinged the roll.
no.
Okay, so I just said okay. God dang it, dude. You know what's
Oh,
funny?
what the heck, Fire? You just took my odds away from me.
I'm sorry.
No, well, you just gotta tell me if you're gonna keep doing it or not. Okay,
Okay.
okay. Garden is out.
Yeah,
Oh
but
wait,
basically,
you can't do 90. Somebody do 90. Okay,
thank you.
they're great. Okay, and now
Okay, hold
I'm
on.
now they're
And
getting
are you
invaded.
okay?
This is all your fault.
Yeah, wait. So I have to explain the okay story. So basically, Soul of the Medley was Pokemon manga, and then Garden just said okay because again, no offense to people who like the Pokemon manga, but we just weren't really feeling it. It's a banter, you know. We like Garden is a regular Fire Nation. Soul of the Medley is a regular in Fire Nation. So it was a bit of banter. So Garden just goes okay, and then I just go okay, you know. And let me explain how this emote came up. Actually, this emote right here, Fire okay. So,
Oh.
so what happened is, Twitch's web. So it's because I said
Oh.
one. Okay. Well, okay, God dang it. Well, should I continue?
I'm trying so hard.
You guys are killing it. In the end, it doesn't even matter. I tried so hard.
Look, I can't laugh super hard right now because my family
Okay,
is
you can
sleeping.
keep laughing. I just said okay again. Anyway, you can keep laughing. Dude, I want to find the screenshot of everyone just saying okay. I had this screenshot. It was so funny.
I'm crying, dude.
Let me find this. Oh my god. But yeah, so basically, Garden said okay. He kept saying okay in response to Soul of the Medley, and then I said okay, and then other people started saying okay. and and I remember like so that was the return of Agni Kai because I came back and there hadn't been Agni Kai for a while. If you're wondering what Agni Kai is, by the way, we just have it's kind of like King of the Cube, but I was doing it before, so I take credit. But
yes, sir.
yeah, and Jonathan spam Monka S. Jonathan is Toph's editor, so I'm in the right. But uh, yeah, so yeah, it's just an exhibition, and you fight to gain the throne of Fire Lord. Except I have a cap. Once you hit 5, you enter the Hall of Flame 5 in a row. So Godface and Blade, two very important members of Fire Nation community. Captain Blade, very solid Marth. Been playing for a while, but he's been improving a lot lately. And Godface was top 30 in Skullgirls, and they've made their way into Melee, and they're improving very quickly. So classic, Fox Marth. There's even a sticker in the server. If you type the 60-40 sticker, you see Blade has Godface knocked down, and he's at 60% as Marth, and Fox is at 40%. It's really funny. But right before this match happened, Blade joined voice call, right? And I was like, "Yo, Blade, like, how are you feeling about the match?" And he's just like, "Okay," because the okay thing is happening. I'm like, "Oh my god, dude!" He just kept saying, "Okay," and I was like, "All right, whatever, dude." And Twitch's web, if you know Twitch's web, has been pretty big part of Fire Nation too. He put on a stream of again this emote Fire OK. It's just Mario Kart 64, I think, and
Yes,
Mario
it
just
is.
yeah he just keeps saying okay, okay, like. And Twitch have streamed that on like in the Discord voice call for 14 hours.
Oh, poor Sane
Literally
Jane. Oh.
14 hours. Like we Agni Kai's over, it's like 3 a.m. Nathan Sandwich, shout outs to Nathan Sandwich, pops in here sometimes, but Nathan Sandwich came in and Fat Man, Shrikant, and Captain Blade and I are hanging out at like 3 a.m. and Twitch's web is still going with the okay, okay. Oh man, that's how the emo came about, but I don't know how much you're still laughing and how much you heard.
I mean, I have it mostly together, but I'm also just like entranced by the count channel tonight. I mean, it's been just where I've wanted it to be honest, other than the fact that we haven't made the goal of beating Catbug 96's record. But other than that, it's been great because I mean, we're all taking turns messing up, but still lifting each other up and shooting for the impossible. What I thought was very doable. I mean, we've been at this for an hour plus now, but
sorry for what do you call it? I have speaking of Catbug 96, there's two things I wanted to say actually. One is going back to I was talking about people standing up against like hate and stuff. One time people, I mean, it was kind of a meme, but people were going in on Puff in her chat, and it kind of makes sense, a lot of Peach mains. And she literally just said like, Fire's here, and I don't want to make him uncomfortable even a bit. So please stop. And I was like, that's the homiest move I've seen in like a hot minute. That was so nice. But also when it comes to counting, I do think her Discord culture is different. They feel more like a collaboration. We feel like siblings. I feel like we fight and then we work together and then we fight again. You know? Yeah. Like, look, what are you guys doing?
My bad. My bad.
Wait. No, Kuyachi. I said culture. I didn't say cult. What the heck? Oh my god. Cypher, do you see this? I'm being misquoted. Culture. Culture, Kiyachi. How many times did I shout out Randall for you? Ah, Kiyachi's driving me insane. Yeah, you better, kid.
Okay, okay. Insane Jane wants to. No, 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 no. I meant to say Sane Jane. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. Please hop in the call.
Yeah, this is Candy Cane Jane, actually. I've just gone insane.
This whole time. I mean, I'm also super deep fried, my brain. I'm sorry, Candy Cane Jane. Please.
It's cool, it's cool. What I wanted to say is like I've been part of the fire server for just a little while now, and like I've been like quote unquote part of the melee community for like 7 years now. And this is the first time I've legitimately ever felt like I'm part of like the Smash community. Like people talk about it all the time, but like the first time that I've ever actually like found like felt an in to it was like just joining fire server. That was it.
That's beautiful.
So sweet. Everyone, if you're listening, spam fire MV Punk 2. You can find it if you click colon fire MV. Because that's so sweet. She deserves a heart emote for that. That's very many words. I didn't expect that. I'm speechless.
I also didn't expect Garden to come out of left field with the no. Where's your okay?
Like even
Yeah, where's your okay, Gordon? At least say okay. Don't.
Oh, there it is. We got the heart emojis.
Working for NetPlay for Palestine, I met a bunch of cool people, but like once that was over, it was kind of over, you know? And starting my project, I'm like starting to meet more and more people. And like, no, nothing compares quite to like what Fire's made here. And it's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. That's all I gotta say.
That's that's so sweet. I do think that puts way too much credit on me, though. I think I did, and I'm flustered. I think I got lucky for sure because like when I first made it, like just certain interactive people did hop in, and people did keep the server alive like when I was gone and stuff. I don't know. Like I think like I understand like I deserve some credit because I did put in effort, but no, it's like the people and the connections they've made. It's insane. Like I was talking to Caddis's BM about this the other day because we have a lot of crossover with the homie server. It's like most of the people in Litterbucks and Fire Nation, or like a good chunk of the regulars come from another server, and like so we have like I say like Litterbucks is kind of like our cousins. Like he just came in the other day and just like challenged us to a Discord group battle. It was so wild. Dark Genix all of a sudden is just commentating. There's like 20 people in the call, and I was like, what's happening? But the Litterbucks is insane. But yeah, I was just talking to Kat about because we have a lot of common people, people that go back and forth and stuff, and he was saying the same thing, and I agree with him. It's like yeah, like we put in our effort, sure, but there's a lot of wonderful people that decided to show up, and counting. Like Cheese Whiz, shouts to Cheese Whiz. We literally have a meme where anytime someone joins a voice call, it's like, oh my,
shit, it's Cheese Whiz!
Let's
yeah,
go,
exactly.
Cheese Whiz. Let's go.
Because he doesn't speak in voice, but he's always hanging out and always spreading good vibes. And like it's people like Cheese Whiz, like Candy Cane Jane, who just joined, but is literally like a huge part of the culture now. Like they these these people. I'm sorry, I don't know how to put the words together, but it's like I think she gave me way more credit than deserved, but I do appreciate the sentiment.
Well, what I think, like, if I were to like give you an, I don't know, like say that you have a superpower of some sort, it's like it's your ability to make connections, introduce those connections to each other, and make more connections through that. Like, you're just like the most connecting dude I have ever met.
I
Yeah.
appreciate that. I've seen. I don't know. I personally feel like there's other like connectors out there like that do it better, but I mean that's cool. That's definitely like my goal. I definitely want people to feel welcome, um, whether it's like in here or in Melee as a whole. You know, like I know some people like they met each other through the server and then like they're hanging out in other places and it's like that's so cool. That's like a dream, honestly.
Mm. Garden wants to hop in, but and I'm gonna hop out. But before I go, I'm gonna say, play Princess Remedy in a World of Hurt. It's free on Steam, and it's my favorite game. Everybody was like last night playing it. Godface got to the final boss on death difficulty. It's an amazing game. Please look it
That's
up.
awesome. I saw you guys vibing at like 3 a.m. or something.
5 a.m. It went till 5 a.m. Godface
Yeah,
Wow.
gum.
like 2 hours trying the final boss. Anyway, peace out.
That's so wild.
Garden, get in here.
Yeah. Garden, did you want to speak?
Did
Okay.
Garden perhaps
Garden,
go
Garden
use
always trolls.
the
He's like the biggest troll.
facilities? I mean, all right, now it's time for Cheese Whiz and I to. I got odds. I got odds.
Oh my god, I just realized what you meant by I got odds. This whole time I thought you were talking about betting or something. I'm so
No, no, I
Yeah.
need to at Cheese Whiz.
Actually, Cypher, I want to say, speaking of the wonderful people here, I got to meet some of them IRL the past 5 days, and it's been amazing, man. Like shout outs to I think you might have followed some of the posts I made on my socials, but I got to meet so Mig, who I met through Discord, drove over from Vegas and hung out, and I had like some of the best days ever. Like we went to you're talking about IRL tournaments. Actually, oh my god, I never finished answering that question. So
No
I'll try,
worries.
yeah, I'll try to
You
get
were
to that.
talking about your commute and we didn't get past that. No worries.
I was talking about what?
No, you were talking about your work commute and then we didn't actually talk about
Uh-huh.
the tournaments themselves.
Yeah, right. But okay, so first I'll address what we're talking about right now. Uh, what were we talking about? God dang
We were
it.
talking about IRL tournaments, dude.
Oh yeah. Oh well, I was gonna address like because so Mig was over right for a few days and it was just incredible. Like I because we went to Lawless. That's the reason I thought of IRL tournaments. We went to Lawless. It was really fun. I'm really proud of a clip I had on stream. But yeah, we went to Lawless. He made some massive upsets. He beat Arrow um on stream and then he beat the Wheel and everyone was getting hyped. It was so cool to watch because he's one of those people that can play multiple characters and he knows the Young Link matchup. So he really showed his skill. So like Lawless was fantastic, and then we got Dave's Hot Chicken. If you know Pipe or Fiction or any of the people that stay till the end at Verdugo or Lawless, you probably know about Dave's Hot Chicken. Shouts to Trader Trash Man. Because I didn't really know about like where people go after a tournament, but Trader Trash Man, he's always been really kind to me. Uh, I know he was also on your podcast recently, which I was really happy about. But and he was yelling the FirePuff12 drunk at Smash Camp, but as Austin Melee, Ryan was playing Puff and Cruz, but yeah, I'm the tangent master, man. I always lose my thoughts. But what was I talking about? Yeah, Mig. So, yeah, so Mig, I took him to Dave's Hot Chicken because the people at Verdugo and Lawless often go there, and it's like part of the culture. Uh, so if you go to those tournaments, you got to check out Dave's Hot Chicken. It's so unique, the flavor and the meat and everything. But Yeah, and then on Sunday we drove down to San Diego to meet Captain Blade, and he's always been like a real one. It was so fun. We played like a bunch of friendlies. We played a free for all at the end, and let me tell you, free for alls are actually fantastic when everyone's trying and everyone's like a competitive melee player. It was just 3 man. Mig was Pikachu, Blade was Marth, I was Puff, and it was incredible. Like we were all just constantly like playing off of each other, and it was back and forth. They went to last dog, like you know last hit pretty much. Blade barely died and ended up being me and Mig, and then Mig just up smash both me and Blade. But it's so fun. And then I went bouldering for the first time because Mig loves bouldering, and I never thought like I would ever do the thing, but I'm thinking of Varric from Korra, but like
I was about to say, but I thought you said do the V. That's like the
oh no.
difficulty scale on
Oh
bouldering.
yeah. Well, so you're familiar with that, right? It was just V0, but I never thought I call it levitation because it legit feels like you're levitating when you're doing it right. And I kept getting stuck on the same like I would put my left foot up and then I couldn't move it up. I would put my right foot on and I couldn't move my left foot up after, right? And so on the last try, I'm just like, yo, man, can you record me? And then I freaking nail it. Like on the last try, like when he's recording, I was just like, no way, dude. This feels
You're a
amazing.
gamer.
Dude, I couldn't believe it, man. And I was even doing the FGC head nod like as I was messing up and stuff, but I didn't think I would nail it. And then we went over to Jezu, shouts to Jezu, and then the next day, so actually Mig plays a bunch of musical instruments, and Cypher, I know you saw my cover recently. I really appreciate your words, but um, there's if you know Attack on Titan, there's like there's a lesbian couple, and they have 2 theme songs that are dedicated to them, and when you play them on top of each other, they actually bounce off of each other, like it's almost like they were meant to, and it's like it's crazy. It's like wow, what a beautiful like choice in terms of music for both of those songs. So Mig picked up the flute and I picked up the clarinet, and we were like going off of each other, and and then we also met up with Godface at the end. And the reason I'm saying all of this is because I met Mig through Discord for Melee, right? And here I am, like I made this I made this friend, and I'm doing something I've never done. I'm bouldering for the first time. I'm making music with him. I'm joining other people I met on Discord, and playing friendlies and hang out, getting food, and it's just it's unreal, man. Like that's why I do think like because like they're the ones that made the day fantastic, and it's like they're also the ones that make this Discord possible. It's just crazy. I'm just and it all comes down to Melee in the end, like we're talking about this Discord, this sub community, but Melee like makes this all possible. Like just because I ran into this guy in a Discord call once, and he went Ness, Pikachu, Donkey Kong, and I was intrigued, and I was like, oh, like let's play some more sometime. And then 6 months later, I'm bouldering, and it's just like, wow.
that's that's going in the chat. 6 months later, I'm what? Oh right.
Yeah, you can't type the number.
I forgot.
So
It's
funny.
only like it got messed up at like what 1? Yeah, yeah. It do be that way sometimes. Garden, are you in chat now? Can you chat to us?
Yeah, you're putting your mic there.
Hi, how
Actually,
you doing?
Cypher. Oh, go
No,
ahead.
whoa, let Garden talk.
Yeah.
Oh, I had nothing to say. Just, let Fire speak. He talks a lot. I like to hear him. How you doing, Fire?
No, there's just something I remembered from when I was with Megan Godface. They were being really stupid, like, because it's like, okay, there's all these wholesome vibes and people are fantastic, but banter and like people get really dumb sometimes. Like, they posted an emote of my nose and made it Fire W, and I was so upset, dude. I was like, dude, get that out of here. And then Agni Kai is going on, and I was with them IRL, and that was cool and all, but then we got food, and as I'm driving them, Godface hops in the call as like Jane and some others hang out. Just goes, "We're in the fire car 12," and he's doing the fire pull up 12 and the fire reverse 12, and I'm just like, "Oh my god!" Dude. But that's I just wanted to say people get really stupid sometimes. But go ahead, Garden. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, no worries, no worries. I just wanted to say, hey, yo, Fire Cipher, you both are goats in the community. Just want to put that out there. Goated forever. Um, and I've been playing Melee for been a year now. Yeah, it's been a year. Um, and I was just it seemed intimidating because it's such a legacy game. But everybody here is so friendly and so inviting. I'm just really glad that I found like randomly in YouTube in the community section in YouTube because I've been a subscriber for FirePuff12 for a minute and just randomly scrolling on YouTube I found out that his Discord was um public now. I was just like, well, let me slide in here. Kind of nervous because I'm kind of shy at first. Even though it doesn't seem like it because I talk so much stuff. Um, but my way to sneak in, that Firefest, my first day actually speaking to someone. Hey, that's cool. That's cool. Um, but I was able to drop bangers, meet friends, and just have a pleasant time. Even played some people here, even though my connection is not that great, but it's pretty lit. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you being willing to share, Garden. That's really, really cool.
Yeah, that's so sick. Yeah, I just remember Garden hopping in one day, and I think it was wait, Garden, did you hop in during the first Firefest?
Was it the first Fire Fest? It was like in July or something like that.
Yeah, because my first memories of you are just you recommending a bunch of bangers. Like I don't know hip,
True.
but like you just showed me that song, and I was like, this is so good. Like, and oh, you matched.
Yeah, got you hooked. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, Cheese was just saying he matched with you once in unranked.
Yeah, the Puff Ditto. Yeah. I actually like the Puff Ditto. I
Oh
really like the
yeah,
Puff Ditto.
no,
Yeah,
so
it's very surgical.
yeah. The thing is, I hated the Ditto like early on until two things happened. I played this guy named Fallen Nova. Shouts to Fallen Nova. If you're like in the Riverside scene, like you probably know about him. He plays Falco like Zoo, uh, Falcon like Silent Spectre, and he plays Puff like Mango and the King. And he used to have a Pikachu too, but this is when I learned how hard Pikachu's up B is. He literally quit Pikachu because up B is that hard. But um, so he plays Puff like really sick, right? And at the same time, around this time, I heard Mango talk about how sick the Ditto is. So I'm listening to like Mango talk about it. I'm like, okay, let me explore it. And then I'm playing Fallen Nova and Dittos, and that's when I learned to love it. I'm like, this is actually so sick. It's so honest, and you can force like you. The other Puff can't camp you if you're like good enough, right? Like you can just play every situation. But what was I gonna say? I actually played Garden once. We had a decent connection, even though it was like on a where
It was it was on a blessed day.
yeah. But I love. This is the thing. I have spaces still, right? They're my secondaries. I don't play them much. Unfortunately, the Puff Ditto I would say is one of my better matchups, and that's my spaces best matchup. So I don't get to counterpick them too much. I have counterpicked spaces and done better before in tournament, but yeah, I mean we had some good spaces and Puff Dittos. It was a lot of fun. And yeah, I don't know. Just Garden's always been hanging out. He had to take a bit of a break, but it's so good to see him back. It's like he adds this unique energy to the server. Like you just say something and he just gives you a response, and you're just like, this guy. Like, also, Garden was top 50, I believe, in Tekken. So shouts to that.
Yeah, I miss those days. But like the Tekken experience and the Melee experience when it comes to like taking care of your hands is like
Oh
very
yeah,
similar. Because
yeah,
those are one
100%.
of the main reasons why I had to stop because I play on fight stick and Tekken
Mm,
requires a lot of movement and I actually
mm,
tore the webbing in between
ooh.
my middle finger and my ring finger. So I
Oh
just had to
no.
stop. So I just had to stop. But fortunately, that doesn't interfere with my melee play.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad to hear that. That's awful. No, seriously, like everyone, like take care of your hands. I was talking about earlier when I was talking about God's complex. Like I, man, if there's like we all have like our little like melee dreams. Like I really want to see like so and so succeed. I want to see so and so be able to play the game. There's nothing I want to see in the world more than God's Complex be able to play Melee again. I really hope, like, the certain hand doctors make their way into his life and he's able to figure it out. That guy is so smart. I'm glad, Garden isn't impacted, even though it impacts Tekken. I'm sure you probably
You
want.
know what? That you know what? Cypher's making sense. You said I'm glad to hear that. That's awful. You know what?
Wait,
I understand now. Okay, I
wait,
get
wait,
it.
what?
I get it.
Wait, what's?
I knew it. Fire hates me. I understand.
I'm so confused. Oh,
No, you were trying to
I'm so
say two
confused.
different things, but the sentence you said
Oh,
was, "I'm glad to hear that." That's awful.
oh, okay. God dang it, you guys got me flustered. This is what Garden does to me. And Cypher too, apparently. I thought Cypher was a nice guy, but yeah.
I have that mean streak like everybody else. I just the most of the time it's not 1 a.m. for me. I'm starting to lose it a little bit. I'm starting to go
You
crazy with
deserved
it.
what was coming to you in the pizza. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry.
I deserved it. Yep. All
You didn't
true.
No, I just yeah, I think I had to backtrack. I think I figured it out. I was saying I was glad to hear that in reference to Garden being able to play Melee, right? But I'm saying that's awful in reference.
Right, right.
Yeah, but yeah, you guys caught me slipping.
No worries. I have a
You,
question
Uh,
about the
you
Tekken
slipped.
experience other than the movement
yeah.
stuff.
Actually,
I know nothing
I gotta
about
use the restroom real quick, so I think it'd be a good time.
I know nothing about Tekken. What is like the first thing you have to learn about the game if you pick it up?
Well, like I said, the first thing you have to learn is general movement. Like Tekken is such a movement heavy game where like if your movement is like not up to par, you're losing 9 out of 10 matches. It's kind of like the same way in Melee.
Except there's a little bit less emphasis on platforms and knocking off stage. In that game, there's a health bar, so and it's like
Yeah, yeah.
is it like semi 3D? What do they call that?
It's it's full 3D. I mean, it's not like Soul Calibur or something like that, where you can, see, the back of the stage. But like sidestepping is very crucial in the game.
Gotcha. Yeah, so like that's about it. Now I know slightly more about Tekken than I did before, in which
Slightly.
would have said what's his name? Kuyashi Kashiminima?
What? What?
Kuya- Kuyashi no, Kuzami? What's the guy that they put into Ultimate? Oh gosh.
Kazuya?
Kazuya
Kazuya?
Kashinima? What's
Mishima.
I'm so tired.
It's okay, dude. Armada didn't know what under was, and everyone made fun of him.
By the way, I was getting a little salty about you, Fire, making Armada the person in bracket that you beat for the BSM pod guest bracket.
Because he is. Why do you
Well,
keep
no,
forgetting
no.
that you?
But
Why do you keep forgetting that he changed the bracket?
how crazy is it that Armada
Oh.
is like top 15 in the world on the 70-star speed run for Mario 64 or whatever it is? Isn't it 70 stars? I feel like it's
70. Yeah, no, it's sick. I mean, we all knew he could do it, right? Like it's still amazing to watch. Honestly, it's kind of like when you know how much Armada was grinding Melee and you'd still see his combo, you'd still see his what's the grit? You still see his grit and his ability to come back. Evo 2018 is an excellent example of that. You know how good he is, but it was still incredible to watch, right? So yeah, I mean, again, it's amazing to see, and you can see the process he's been putting into to work on it too, right? But no, I mean, that being said, I do miss Armada and Melee, man. Like, I started watching in 2011, and that was like Mango Armada, Genesis 2. It hurts, but I respect his choice. But I understand where Mango's coming from. It makes sense. I know some people have been misunderstanding Mango. It seems less and less people because people are going at Armada now. But no, like yeah, it was kind of a blow to Melee. But that being said, though, it's sick how many people can win a tournament now. It's sick how it ended up being. It's sick how Zayn came in at the perfect timing. In fact, Zayn is sick in multiple ways, and there's a video I've been wanting to make. It's just, it's hard to make videos, but
Yeah,
literally
especially when you got so much going on. But you always have good ideas for your videos, Fire.
I appreciate that. Like, wait, what do you mean one famous tournament?
Well, you mentioned Diva 2018. That's the one that Leffen won.
Oh, well, yeah, but think about, okay, it's like Genesis 3, Cheese Whiz. Think about, like, Mango says it himself. It's a fantastic tournament, even though Mango lost, right? Evo 2018, like, Armada loses to Swedish, and then he barely beats Zayn. This is like, Zayn is looking like such a problem by now, right? He barely beats Zayn. He barely beats Mewtwo barely beats pretty much everyone. Hungrybox, trying to remember. Like, I don't remember the full run right now, but okay, everyone, everyone just messes with me, and I always get baited. Whatever, dude.
No, it's all fine and well. There's actually not really a long list of tournaments that Armada won from losers. In fact, more often than
Yeah,
not, he was winning from winners. That was the Armada
exactly.
formula: get to winner's side
Yeah,
of grands, win the tournament.
mhm. Yeah, and shouts to Turn Down for Walt, who actually made a video about this, about people in winners, about people in losers. And Cheese Whiz, to be clear, I'm not only talking about Evo 2018. That's just something I thought of when I was thinking about Armada's grit. You know, like, yeah.
I think it's uranium bombs with an S. I'm pretty sure. I could be
Yeah.
mistaken. It is
Mhm.
1:10 in the morning for. You know what? I should stop mentioning the time. Let's go ahead and get in the direction of wrapping up. Oh yeah,
Okay.
I'm super good. Candy cane
Cypher,
joining. I
is it cool
appreciate it.
if I talk about the IRL tourneys, which because I didn't really address it before?
I am very tired, yes, but it's the perfect amount of tired because I sound like a little bit out of it. And I think for a 150 podcast episode special, that's about par for the course, I feel like. Or
Yeah.
content. You get it. Content brain. Okay, Fire.
Down here in the counting fields.
One more story from your IRL escapades. I would love to hear something that you got, and then that's when we'll start to close up.
Okay, is it cool if I briefly talk about IRL tournaments real quick? Because I just never addressed that.
That is true because
Not enough
we
time?
got it.
Okay.
We kind of got into Lawless. Meg went on a run, beat Arrow.
Right. Well, just in general, just the experience. Like, I'm not gonna get into specifics, but no, it's been cool. Land melee is definitely different, and going to a venue, feeling the temperature, and then meeting people, hanging out with them. Shouts to SF. He's someone I hung out with regularly at Verdugo and Mark Revival. So no, it's great. Even though, like I mentioned, the commute because it was really nice for me to not have to commute and have the energy to play melee. Eventually make content and such. But no, IRL tournaments definitely an experience. A lot of homies have been asking me about me going to Genesis, and I do feel bad about not going. It would have been cool to see a lot of them. I know like people are gonna have a fantastic time, but I personally just feel like it's too soon from Omicron. But yeah, no, shouts to IRL. Definitely will attend a major at some point.
So you're not going
And
to Genesis or anything like that?
yeah, I'm not just because I feel like it's too soon from Omicron Cypher. Like I just started hanging out locally like 3 weeks ago. Um, And like I know Mig is not local, but like I'm like trusting my friends and stuff. But yeah, I'm not down to just go into a public setting like international. No way. I think it's too soon. But that's just my personal take. I respect everyone's decision.
That's very
Uh,
fair for you to first of all just to acknowledge the fact that there might be something that you might be accidentally putting out into the world that's a bad thing and that you want to try to mitigate that risk and be as responsible as possible. Oh, we did get a
mhm.
credit card number. Very high. Very cool. Very cool. I don't see a zip code or the CVC, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Fire. I think you made a very fair decision there,
Thank
and
you.
it may be that you'll say to yourself during the tournament, "Oh, I wish I could be there." Just know that I wish I could be there also because I'm not going to Genesis. So
I
we
appreciate that,
can be
Cypher.
in the same camp there. Maybe I'll be able
Yeah.
to hop into the spoilers chat during Genesis 8 Top 8. We'll see. But I hope that you'll be able to get to a big tournament. I guess there's going to be main stage in Cali later this year. I mean, there has to be a main stage, right? How could there not be? The main
No,
stage.
I went to main stage last year. It was so
very
sick.
cool. Very, very cool. I mean, I thought that Kadoran was going to win that tournament for sure. I just felt like Kadoran was on a run, and then Hungrybox kind of styled on Kadoran, and then Wizrobe styled on Hungrybox, twirling around that controller.
Yeah, no, it was sick. And Jesu, you know, like I said, I have like 3 coaches at this point. There's Jesu, Faltazak, and God's Complex as of late. And I love when they talk to me about the game, I make improvements, and then they watch me play, right? Like I love that so much. So Jesu was at main stage with me. We went together, and he was watching me play my pools matches, and he was giving feedback. It was so cool. But yeah, I know you said to close, like if I could provide an IRL escapade. Honestly, I'm not sure. I can't think of anything right now.
No
I kind
worries. You got to talk about a lot of cool stuff already. I mean, I love the fact that you went to Lawless again with Meg. Got to see the run, got to see, and just got to hang out. I love the fact that you're getting to do stuff out there. You know, one step at a time, one safely done social outing at a time. I respect that, Fire.
It was all amazing, Lawless, and then meeting Captain Blade, meeting Godface is so fun. Like
and here's to the next time when you get to do stuff like that, and hopefully
I really hope so.
Hopefully we'll get to talk on the podcast sooner than next March when you inevitably win the second bracket. I don't even know if I'll do it again next year, but if I do it again, you'll get in there, and I can't wait to see the Fire Nation get up to all the good tricks to get you advancing in the bracket to getting that.
That bracket. I was like, wait, what bracket? I was like,
a potential two-peat if I do the bracket thing again next year. I don't know, but to all the Fire Nation, thank you so much for making me feel welcome in here. Definitely one of my favorite servers to be in, even if I am selfish and counting most of the time and did not actually chatting as much. I will be honest, but that's because I want to break this record so bad, and we'll get it at some point. We fell short tonight, but I love the effort out there. I love the fact that we had such great moments of, oh no, whimsical failings. We missed it at 380 something when I messed it up, and then we got to 500, and then that got messed up, and then we got to like 100 something that got messed up, and it's all good. I had so much fun hanging out with all of you tonight, especially with you, Fire, because you are the star of the show for this podcast episode. But in general, we're all here because of you in the Fire Nation. So, FirePuff12, please tell the people where you want them to go, shout outs, anything like that to close us out.
Sure. I mean, first I want to say be sure to follow Cypher003 and BSM Pod, because this is a fantastic podcast, and it's so sick that you guys are listening and getting to know the stories of all his wonderful guests. And as for me, you can follow me at FirePuff12 on pretty much all my socials. On Twitter is probably where I'm the most active, but I also have YouTube and TikTok where I post content. And on Twitter, you can find a link to the Fire Nation server if you'd like to check it out. And yeah, just real quick, I just wanted to, shout outs to everyone who's made Melee what it is for me. Like whether it was Ken in one of my first tournaments, giving me respect that I never got in high school, and I was like, wow, like I never knew what that feels like, and I felt welcomed, and I felt like Melee is my home. Or the people that kept it being my home, Melee Stats giving me purpose in like 2017, and I was like trying to find my way, and always having my back. Always shouts to Melee Stats for that. Or my local scene, 951 Melee Riverside. Played so many fantastic games with them, so many fun hangouts, tournaments, carpools. Or if you're someone I've ever met, like I'm sorry if I'm blanking. I'm trying to like recall, because it's been almost 7 years. I've met so many fantastic people, and even if I forgot your name right now, I promise it doesn't mean like I forgot you.
They know who they are.
Yeah,
Listen, you know
or
who
like
you are.
or the modern era, like with people like Cypher, um, people in this server, and yeah, just shout outs, shout outs to everyone, shout outs to Melee, shout outs to 20 years, and shout outs to
Woo!
Cypher003.
Shout out to Mango the Goat.
Shout outs to Mango for sure. This is probably the longest I've gone with and the least I've praised Mango. It's really fun. Slime like is the reason like I like Nairest became a thing and everything. I mean, I kind of forgot. People in Riverside were making a joke out of my first name. They're like, it's like my first name cancel at first, and then Slime took it to the bigger stage, with Bad Melee podcast and such. Shouts to that podcast, by the way. And then Ludwig solidified it. But Slime used to like one of the first things he said about me before Nairest was actually like, so Fire is someone who can't go a sentence without talking about Mango, because he's a huge inspiration. Very sick player. Loved his puff. And the thing is, people talk about how he's a homie when you meet him. He literally is like that. Like he treats you as a person, and like it's not about like your status or who you are in the community. It's just, oh hey, what's up? Very genuine kind of thing. Like big shouts. I could go on about Mango forever, honestly. Like the goat. I'm glad you shouted him out, because I was just talking about people that I knew more on a personal level. But no, inspiration for sure. Like Tech, to Saint Vel, like so many sick puffs that play the game. Um, and yeah, and also finally, I want to say this before we close. If you guys have seen the GameCube controller video, how to hold the GameCube controller like a pro, I'll just say that Cypher003 had a good amount to do with that. So credits to Cypher.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Fire, you're the person who can make that kind of stuff happen, because even now, like my video editing skills, I mean, limited hardware, but I just don't have it like you got it. And
Speaking of hardware, Cypher, I'm trying to get into PC too, so shouts to that. Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm trying to stream. I have a new mic right now, Cam. So yeah.
Shout outs to, and this is very appropriate as well, for all the people that were in the call. I don't think we had a few people drop in periodically that I can't remember because I'm tired, but we have Cheese Whiz, Garden, Candy Cane Jane, Kiriachi, hopping into the call and listening along, joining on the amazing journey of trying and failing to get to 1,500 in the count. But I am very happy that all of you decided to choose to spend your evenings this way. So thank you all for being in the call. Thank you. And in general, to FirePuff12, all of you in the call, all the listeners, thank you for joining me on Bottom of the Smash Mountain for 150 episodes.
Everyone spam Fire BSM. Go to emote. BSM.
And that's how we'll fade into the sunset. There'll be a bunch of those emotes. Kind of want to, you know what? I'll just do one myself here.
Let's go.
Self-serving slightly. Oh, there it is. And
Cypher.
we got Sora with Donkey Kong.
I don't even know.
That's a great outro.
Cypher, I appreciate you making this work. I know I wasn't the best to you, like in terms of like, when we decided to start, and like, various things that delayed the situation, but you still took the time. You're out here at like, what is it, 122. So thank you so much for making it work.
Yep. Let me stop recording.